Hey everyone, welcome to Cafe Rise. This is episode 152, and you've got Rob Gregg here, Josh Jones, and we're excited to share with you what's going on in the world of Infinity Rising, our game that is in pre-alpha, and there's early access pass applications on our website. So if you're new and you haven't checked us out yet, go to infinityrising.com and you can apply for the early access pass. We're going to start letting people in soon. More on that coming in this episode. So real quick, what we'll be talking about today is the final ascent to alpha, the DLSS 5 announcement, puzzle and game updates of various kinds. And then, a few other things, and we'll close out the episode. So fun stuff ahead. Okay. Rob, before we go too far, what are you drinking today?
I had a choice of two drinks, and I think I'll go for this one.
Interesting. Why that one?
No, you're right. I'll go for this one instead.
Yeah, that's a good call. I would have gone with that one.
What are you going for?
I don't have two drinks that are the exact same thing. I just got a little bit more coffee, energy. It was a night of very little sleep once again.
Ooh, I see.
A lot going on. So, okay.
Small glass. It's like a shot.
Cheers. It does. That's what I was about to say. Cheers. Enjoy that double shot of vodka you got there.
Yeah, vodka.
Or
that'll be good.
Gin martini.
It's more like white spirit.
In Russia, we drink vodka.
Vodka. Vodka.
So, okay. The final ascent to alpha. Let that not make you think that the next build is alpha. However, we are in the final ascent to alpha, the stage where we are really preparing to launch and make this available to mainstream gamers. And some of the things that come with that will be disclosed in an announcement you might have seen already prior to this episode. But we've got the Infinity wallets coming, which is pretty significant. That's what's going to give automatic ability to list and buy assets inside of our store for the mainstream gamers, and that those will start off. They'll start off in a very seamless way where you can onboard with a credit card, and it's made super easy for them on the back end to go and buy assets from our store, etc. And we also have the secondary marketplace coming soon as well for the trading of land or the listing and buying of land assets. That's what we're going to start with, and we'll gradually increase the assets there. So that'll also be an increase in utility for the Rise token. So exciting stuff in that regard. We also have a sale coming that's part of our prepare final ascent to alpha, and the sale is going to be the first of its kind to that we've offered, where it's a bundle sale. So we're bundling quite a few different assets together, and we've got several different tiers of that sale. So the founders tier is going to be the highest value, the most expensive one, and that will be the one that we're starting with first. After the founder tier is the operator tier. Then there's the Pathfinder, the Pioneer, and the Citizen. And the idea behind all of these is they're going to be a great way to onboard a mainstream gamer that doesn't have all the assets that you guys have been playing with, and et cetera. And so this is a great way for us onboard, new mainstream gamers. They can come in and they can get a variety pack really easily. The cool thing about this for you guys is we're making it available to you early at a significant discount. And that's going to go up in price once we launch that and make it available to the mainstream gamers. So for a period of time, it's discounted, and it's actually the best value offering we've ever come up with, without a doubt. There's quite a few very rare items in especially in the founder tier, and when you look at it this way, and the retail value of it, and then the discount on top of that, it's a great offering. So that is our way of basically saying thank you guys for supporting us. Thank you for helping us get to alpha. Many of you have been involved from the very beginning, and your involvement is helpful to us building this game. You've helped us to get to where we are, and we're grateful for you guys. And we're so close to that moment where we really get to experience bringing mainstream gamers in and the real utility that they bring to our token and to our ecosystem. And I mean, that's where the majority of the gamers at. So I'm excited. We're at a really exciting phase. Wouldn't you agree, Rob?
Yep, definitely. I'm so excited. I've had a song stuck in my head all day.
Thank you for that. Because we have a cinematic coming soon as well. And to be honest, if that's the song you're referencing, it's been stuck in mine as well.
Yeah,
and I went to sleep last night with it stuck in my head. And I think I even messaged David and I said, this song is incredibly sticky.
I played it on normal speed, double speed, and half speed as well, just to have different variations. It still works.
Okay, I did not do that. It still works. Interesting. Well, more on that in our leak. But let me see what else. We covered the marketplace, early access. Oh, early access list players. So the other part of the road to alpha, or the final ascent to alpha, is onboarding our early access players. Because once the wallets are ready, we're going to start onboarding the early access players. Ideally, the wallets are ready and the apartments build is out. That would be the preference. And then we'll start really ramping things up and getting people into the game that have applied. We've got over 4,000 that have applied for early access. So starting to get those people granted and into the game and into the community is going to be a big deal for us. I'm excited about that. And also, obviously, ramping up marketing as much as possible. And then the final point there is we are in the middle of a seed round still, and we have a crowd round starting very soon. All of these things are positioning well to launch us into that alpha state with mainstream gamers. So exciting days ahead, an exciting stage with, I'm sorry, I'm saying a lot here, but like the amount of work that's gone into getting us to this place. Blood, sweat, and tears, yourself, myself, the team.
Even the sales in tears.
Huh?
Even the sales in tears.
Yep. I actually didn't hear you.
That's all right. You can watch it back.
So my point was, I've gone on about this final ascent, I guess, because we're at such a meaningful point in the project that all of this foundation, all of these systems that have just taken, like some of these systems are really complicated. The combat system, the avatar creation, just the land and the system for building land at large scale, and the worlds and the infrastructure that supports all of it, and all of the work that's gone into this to lay this foundation is finally coming into fruition in a way where the systems that we're bringing in add ultimate scale and increased exponential value for the players as we scale those out. For example, the crafting, going to 400 recipes, etc. We start scaling out these systems, and now you have an increase of exponential value for the players, and we have a marketable game. We're so close. So we're excited. The final ascent is an exciting phase for us, and I hope that you guys will join us in preparation for that. So stay tuned for the end of the episode when we've got a pretty amazing leak, and we can move on to the next topic now after my long wording on that one. DLSS 5. I'm excited about it. I know you have some thoughts to share about it. I guess we're a ways off from, just because of our current roadmap and everything on our plate. We're not going to be,
But it doesn't come out till fall. Fall is November, is it? December?
Is when it'll be available for Unreal Engine? Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, depending upon what's happening around then, we might be able to make an engine switch to that release that's available for. It just depends on.
Well, it's not an engine switch; it's just a DLSS upgrade. But
Well,
yeah,
no, but David was saying we would have to upgrade to the next iteration of Unreal Engine. to
Well, 5.7. Yeah, we're on 5.6 at the moment. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So to be able
We would
to
probably do that anyway, whether we want to use DLSS 5 or not.
we
And in fact, by then, I think 5.8 will be out.
right, but the point is that we don't necessarily know how long it will take and what's going on in the roadmap. So it's hard to
No,
say that we'll
no.
definitely do that.
And
But
whether we want to
I
use it.
will say this, that the enhancement to the look and feel is so significant. I'm sure some of you guys have seen the videos out there, that I think it's very worth us investigating, taking a look at it. I really like what it can do for the graphical quality, but I'm also still pretty incredibly proud of our existing graphical quality. But like we have to look at what's the improvement. We have to analyze what's the value add. Does it make sense for us, and go from there. But Rob, your take?
Yeah, I mean, I was excited at first when I first saw it, and then I looked deeper into it, so I actually made some notes because I thought we might want to be talking about it. Um, so I mean, I'll go through some of my notes. I think when they first announced, when the video first announced DLSS 5, and I think the internet absolutely lost it. I think they found it very discombobulating. I think when you look at the previous versions of DLSS, that they really were all about upscaling the different resolutions and generating fake frames. So some of the recent one, I think people nowadays are mainly fine with that, but there was obviously some initial pushback at first, especially when people were thinking, wait a minute, we're paying double again for graphics cards and we're not actually getting more power. You're faking things. But I think DLSS actually does a great job. But this number 5 AI bit is I think what they explain that is called it's a neural renderer, which is AI generated lighting and materials that goes on top of any game, and actually changes the game quite a lot. And it's all, and the internet, and I at first thought it's almost like a filter. In real life, people put filters on top to make them look smoothed out and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
This does the opposite. It takes something that's smoothed out and then tries to put the wrinkles and everything back on. So when they showed their demo, I remember on the screen they had Resident Evil, they had the new one, they had Starfield. Well, that's quite surprising. They had Starfield on there, and the characters definitely did look like they'd been run through some kind of like one of, do they call it like an Instagram beauty filter or something like that? But obviously, I know this is the first look. It's not out till maybe Christmas, so they're going to get loads of feedback, lots of chance to tweak it, and we only saw like 3, 4, 5 second clips. You don't know what it's like when you're actually immersed in
Mm-hmm.
the individual games. But yeah, the internet absolutely lost it. Thought that the skins get very plastic, the eye bags and all this coming in. I think there was also quite a few prominent developers that were giving pushback on it as well. Some of them really, really bad. But then, however, you look at some of the environmental stuff. So there's kind of two parts for it for me. There's what it did to kind of like the characters,
Mm-hmm.
and which I think is the controversial bit, and what it did to kind of like the lighting and some other parts where I thought was actually pretty good, quite impressive. Especially some of the material upgrades, but people are not really talking about that. They're more concentrating on the characters. And then the CEO of Nvidia, Jensen Huang's, he says that the critics are all completely wrong, and that the developers have actually full artistic control. So this is what I'm saying. We only saw clips, but that didn't really help. When the CEO comes out and say you're completely wrong, I mean, yeah, people didn't really
Well,
listen to the rest of his message.
it depends on what the essence of what he's saying they're wrong about is, because I think they're wrong about some as well. But it's a different take that I have that I'm speaking of in particular, which is the use of AI for imagery in games. There is a large amount of resistance from the gamers on the use of AI because of the AI slop kind of thing for certain content. Now, I'm not certain of the exact particulars of the gamer objection there, but the reality is there's a really, and here's the other thing is that the loud vocal um, group of trolls in any internet space is not representative of the opinions of the whole. And it's often a minority kind of viewpoint of negativity of people that just want to jump in and troll stuff. Right or wrong in this case, I'm not really commenting on that. What I am commenting on, though, is that gamers in general have been complaining and wanting more out of games. Meanwhile, VC groups are not supporting any innovation. And so there's not like significant funding coming into games. So the only way that you're going to get innovation and new stuff that the gamers are wanting is if the smaller studios like ourselves can get there on scrappy budgets and make it to a point where they can offer that kind of value. And the one thing that really helps them to do that in a variety of ways can also be AI. So gamers are begging for something that's almost impossible. They want, hey, completely pure, no AI. Like they're tired of the studio cookie cutter model. They want innovation. They want all this stuff, and the prices are too expensive. And it's like, okay, what you
Well,
want
yeah,
is
but I
just
mean, I
not
think,
possible. It's just
but
not.
but the previous version of DLSS, that they kind of like, whereas before you might have only been able to play in 1080p, you can now get 60 frames per second with DLSS in 4K. I don't think people have got a problem with that, putting in the fake frames. What this DLSS 5 does, though, and I think this is in particular where it could affect us. We have we've got an art direction, and we've got lighting, and we take our time to build all that in. Now making that perform better at say 60 frames per second on 4K, that is perfectly acceptable. But what DLSS 5 is trying to do is changing. It can change that. It can change the art. It's changing your characters' look and feel, which is not what our art direction. Puts a completely different spin on it. It's changing the lighting. It's changing the whole
But
atmosphere.
doesn't require us to use it.
Well, no, but I say yes and no. This is where it depends on how much you can affect it and tweak it. If if like what Jensen's saying, we have full control over it and we can turn bits on and off, then that's fine. We've got some great tools to play around with. But the way it looks at the moment is that the with actually the current versions of DLSS, you can actually take a game that has not even been built for DLSS and doesn't have it integrated, and you can put that on top of it and start changing things, which is great for those people that haven't integrated it. But if you can do that same thing with our game, you can now start making things photorealistic where they're not going to. People are then going to start sharing our game, sharing our artwork, which has been heavily modified by DLSS 5. We've got our certain look and feel, which is kind of not 100% photorealistic. But if DLSS 5 does that and it shares them, this is where it's something to watch at the moment. Like I say, I know
You're
we're
talking
on
about if we
version
don't
one,
have control, and I would agree if we don't have the ability to say
but I
no to
mean
that if we're not
that's what
okay
it
with it.
looks like it's trying to do. But I don't know. Like I say,
Mhm.
I'm open. I don't think that they
I
will
think
take
that
the
would open them
feedback
up
and
for some too much legal issues there with changing the IP of a product without them having the
that's
choice.
effectively what they.
I don't
Yeah,
think that
yeah,
that
maybe.
works.
I don't know.
The,
It's a space we have to watch. Like I said, I don't want to give full pushback because we've not actually seen it in action and we've not seen what it can do in particular for our game. I've
mhm.
seen the benefits for some other games. It looks okay, but
I
but
think
yeah,
it's
we'll have to. We've got something interesting to look forward to, and at the moment it's only for 5090s. So I mean, you need a really the next gen 50 top end. So by
well, it's
Christmas
not, yeah, and
that'll
it's not
probably
even
come down
here
to the
yet.
40s.
it's not going to be here for us until we're able to make the
Yeah, it's going to be
switch to
next year.
the
It's going to be
next.
2027.
But
But
either way,
yeah,
I think it's a cool feature. Potentially needs more investigation.
yeah, we'll obviously come with other performance boosts as well. So if you can just say, look, don't age my don't
Well, I'm
put
not talking about
photorealism on,
the.
but we don't know.
I'm only talking about the AI side of the DLSS 5 is all I was talking about. Yeah, all the other DLSS stuff is probably great, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, next up is the puzzle. Did you want to comment on the
Yeah,
delivery?
we're building. I think we spoke last week about the DoorDash mini game,
Mm-hmm.
and that's coming along quite well. But we reviewed it with David, and he thought it might have been a little bit too arcadey, kind of pick up, drop off, drop off, drop off, drop off. So what we've done is we put a little puzzle as you drop off. So as you get to the destination, you've got to kind of work out a little bit of a code. So it kind of breaks the travel, do the code, move on, all against the time, and just adds an extra element to it. And I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited
So we're still in development of that, but it's
excited to
getting close.
try it
We
out.
put a bit of a pack on the back of the backpack at the moment. Again, he doesn't like that. It's almost like an Uber Eats, a big square. So it's. I'm hoping it'll make the next build, but we're going through a few iterations in test.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. The next up is the updated target.
Yeah, well, along with that, we have this new target. So as what we have at the moment is when you have destinations, you can see them on the compass and you can follow the compass at the top, or you can bring the map up. Well, in the new release, we've got this new target as well that goes along there that shows you the meters away from the destination, and it's really cool. If you turn around and it's behind you, you can see around the screen where you've got to go. So we're adding some text on that as well. So it'll literally say drop off here, or it might say your custom direction. But where I think it'll be really useful is because we've been testing the apartment claiming this week as well. So I've seen that for the first time, and I kind of claimed an apartment, and then from nowhere, this kind of pointer appeared on the screen. So it was this new target, and I'm like, Renee was saying, what's this new pointer? I was like, I don't think you shouldn't be doing a quest. I don't think it's a bug because I didn't know that they actually integrated it. So I followed this. Then it almost dawned on me. Well, actually, this must be the apartment that I've just claimed. So yeah, sure enough, it led me out of the claiming building and to an apartment. Dead
This is a
easy.
leak to me right now, so I'm incredibly excited.
Yeah, dead easy to follow. But then it put the pointer right in between, right in the middle of a building. So I didn't know what floor I was on. That's what prompted to add text to the pointer. So hopefully the pointer now will say building whatever floor 5 or floor 6. Because I went up the stairs and I was like, well, I can see the pointer above me. So I went up and I went up and I went up, and eventually I got to my apartment. There was this then this beam outside the door. I went in the door, and then there was an option to enter the build to furnish my apartment. And yeah, testing's coming along really well.
That was a great leak. Thank you. Thank you. It was
I'll
kind of
open this
also,
one up.
and that's not our leak for the episode, but it was a leak for me, and it's also a leak for you guys, I guess. So
Yeah, it's very good.
really
It's in
cool.
the build now. If you download it later on, you can have a go.
Okay, we'll check it out. So, well, that brings us up to a topic I don't ever want to talk about. But we've had some losses along the way with Cornucopias and with Infinity Rising. And I don't even know if I'll probably miss a few here, but we had an original community member, Moody, that had passed, and we did a tribute for him back then. My mother passed in 2023, and recently a employee of ours, a mod, Al Knight Limon, passed away. Man, from what I'm gathering, a cherished member of the community. So, yeah, he had an impact on multiple people on our team, without a doubt. Several of the mods, my wife, myself, just a friendly young guy. And so, uh, sucks to have that happen. But what we want to do is, as a community, make a digital card for him, for his family, and so they can know the impact that he had in the community with us. And so I guess it's kind of a way to be grateful and celebrate who he is, who he was. So that's all there. Sorry for the additional emote here. But yeah, anyway, we'll get you guys information on that through the announcements channel, something like that, so that anyone who he had an impact on, you want to say something on the digital card, you'll have an opportunity to do that. And then I'll talk to one of his family members who's in our community, and get him that, so that he can share it with his family in whatever way. Okay. Moving into questions. Why don't we go to the questions next, Rob? You got some questions for me?
We can do questions.
Alrighty.
Question 1 is from Lofty. Would like to know, what quarter is the seed round expected to close? Is excited for us all on that front.
Yeah, seed round. It's probably a couple of months left. It'll overlap a little bit with the crowd round as well, just because there's still some additional time to bring people in, and there's several groups that we're still talking to. So, I don't know the exact date of the close. I'm just going to keep running and gunning and doing everything we can. Really, the ascent to alpha, the final ascent it's all about anything and everything we can do to have a successful alpha launch. So we're just putting all that we can into that. So yeah, again, if anybody knows anyone that we need to be chatting with, please let us know. Crowd round is coming soon. Be on the lookout for that. That's the equity crowd round for equity. And yeah, next question, or do I have one for you? I have one for you, actually. This is from Coy Bacon of the Knights. In preparation for building our dome experience, are there any programming or application skills we can learn ahead of time?
Yeah, Coy Bacon. I think he might enjoy the our Uber Eats delivery game.
The what?
Working at the Burger Barn. I know he said he wants to make burgers, so he might enjoy delivering them as well. But yeah, his question is about custom domes. Does he need any programming or application skills? You don't need to know any programming whatsoever. The way the domes will work is we'll have a builder tool in game, and you'll just be dragging and dropping and doing stuff. And yeah, no programming knowledge at all is needed. And you should be able to test them yourself, and then publish your dome and invite other people to come and play it. So yeah, we're building it. So you really need zero programming skills.
Love it. That allows me to participate. Because about all I can do is command line interface.
Well, the way AI is going at the moment,
directory.
there's a lot of vibe coding now. Even programmers don't need to program anymore.
This is true. It is quite empowering. I've played around with it a little bit. It's interesting stuff, and amazing. And what surprises me the most about the vibe coding stuff is how fast it went from people vibe coding and not really creating much of anything, maybe something, to, oh wow, all of a sudden people are vibe coding real stuff. So the acceleration is what I'm commenting on there.
For us developers, it's very good for prototyping and talking through ideas and stuff like that as well, and actually literally writing code and bug checking. So if you're already a programmer, it's very, very useful. And
I mean, looking at
now people that are non-programmers are getting the programming bug, so you can see what we've been doing all along.
And this is something that literally came up this week with the secondary marketplace and the land that we're working on, we had no idea. Like, so we're using Anvil's endpoints, Ada Anvil's endpoints, for the marketplace,
Only
which is
partner.
great. So anybody that doesn't know who they are, they're a partner of ours and a partner of ours. Great project. But what's happened is because of vibe coding, Greg, who is now an incredibly talented developer who's developed the node infrastructure and everything, he has massively sped up to where we can't keep. we're almost struggling to keep his plate full. So we put him onto the secondary marketplace, and he's been killing it with that. So we're not that far off, I don't think. Jeff would kill me. I'm not going to give a date because there's still UI stuff on the other side of what Greg's doing, but some of the difficult stuff is being handled. So okay, we have another question for you. MSP driver, I have a question and hopefully somebody can answer. When the new build is released, is it going to be a race to who can download first as far as apartment placement? Or will that part be delayed for a bit of time? Or will it be on the website like the land claim?
It's an interesting question, that, because the way you claim the apartment is in game. So you do have to go in game, and you have a list of these different buildings, and there's different floors and different apartments. So you could say it's a kind of a bit of a race, unless you own your own. No, but even then you've got to claim from a certain place. So I would say let's wait and see on that, because we've not actually got to the part where what it's going to look like when the public are claiming it. Although in game we are going to a building, we're going through a long list, and then we're claiming them. At the moment, I looked at that long list. I had no clue where I was claiming. I just, all right, I'll just have you. So yeah, you can be the first or the last in there, but actually where you're claiming from, I don't know. I need to look into that more. But yeah, we'll take a pause on that question and come back to you. But yeah, it's different from claiming from the website, which is like the land grab, and we will do actually another land grab in the future. Apartments are different, so it's
Significantly, and it's not going to be as significant the time, because your view is not going to change a ton.
no.
So
Oh, they're all brilliant. There's no bad view in the
yeah.
global map.
Okay, well,
And we all
that
have
brings.
jetpacks. It's very easy to get around. Even the elevators work though, so you can have a nice little elevator
Yeah,
experience.
yeah,
You can
this is
go in
true.
and press the button, get in the floor, and go inside. Yeah,
Or you can
it's
go in and press all the buttons.
and actually to when I went in, you can press all the buttons. I've done that, and it will stop at every single round, every single floor. When I went in today, what we've actually done now, one of the buildings in the middle has this tunnel through it. Almost looks like when you go to like a theme park, you sit on the rides, and you have those the buildings that just have two ends with a hole at either end. And actually, the monorail is actually working now. So we've got a working monorail in there as well. So every time we get a new internal build, it's really good to just go and have a good nosy. And we've got Burrito Boss. They've now set up stall within there. The Burger Barn, damn, they've got about 6 different shops in that apartment. So I mean, people are going to be having a lot of fast food. There's no
Yeah,
delivery service yet, but we do
they've
know we're
really been
working on one.
blowing up Burger Barn. They're hiring actually.
They are. I think they are. Yeah, and they're definitely hire. They definitely want people to work on their delivery. So
Mhm.
and now we've got potentially delivery to individual doors. I mean, in the future, you'll be able to order all kinds of stuff to your apartment door, and to your land plot as well. And people will go out. You'll be able to create your own quest. We segue into this. Create your own quest for other players to go and get you stuff. That is definitely coming. So
Yes,
so
it
so
is.
yeah, this is where it starts.
Agreed.
But at the
There's a
moment, Burger
lot.
Barn are
There's
killing
so
it.
much fun stuff coming in this game. Everybody that's been a part and with us for so far is here for an exciting phase of just all of the systems coming and unfolding right in front of their eyes. And so I'm thankful
And
Thankful for that.
these are personal stuff as well. What we're talking about here, delivering people burgers and maybe the odd building tools and stuff like that to your land plots.
Mhm.
That those in themselves are two different individual loops. But then when you talk about cross dome transportation as well, with the Atmos and some of the other large transportation vehicles, transport and delivery, it's gonna be huge. I mean, we're talking game economics there, aren't we? On a whole different level. Yeah, amazing.
Amazing stuff. Okay, well, that brings us to the final segment of 152. And I guess what Rob and I can say before we play the segment um, will get you guys fired up. I'll just say this. I've seen it about 5 times now, and the first time that I saw it was at about 10:30 last night. Blew me away. Goosebumps multiple times. Um, it's the new cinematic, and it's just, I don't know, man. A whole new level.
But I think when you look at the cinematic is heavily law based, and it's something that we do talk about a lot of AI. Is it good? Is it bad? What it's helped us to do for this cinematic is take our cinematics to a whole new level. Remember, we are a tiny team. To create any kind of cinematic to this quality in the past would have probably have taken about a year, because that's what the AAA companies do. They take about a year to make something like this, and the budget is somewhere between
500,000 easy.
Yeah, easily,
maybe more,
over 1 million. Some of them, some of the big ones, and what the teams managed to do, within a few weeks with AI, and a lot of it uses our
caveat, AI with all of our assets.
Yeah.
So it's with assets that we've built, and then AI has empowered it to go further.
And although the entire world now has the ability to use AI, that doesn't mean to say if we gave this task to 99.999% of the world, they could achieve the same results as our team have done with this. You have to have direction, you have to have the intuition for the shots, the lighting, the whole storytelling. That's what pulls all this together. This is not, here's a load of assets, go and build something. This is weeks and weeks of planning, the individual crafted, shots, putting it together,
planned,
the soundtrack,
storyboarded, sound. Yeah, agreed. There is no,
and I know I'm giving it a big build-up. I think this is an award-winning trailer.
I agree. There is no discounting it because of AI at all. In fact, the power of this is that we get to tell more people our story in a quality way with our assets that represents our project well and pulls more people in over time by helping us with the production cost. That's what it is. It's helping us with the production cost. This alone would have taken so much longer and so much more money than what it took, that we wouldn't have been able to go to market with it.
And the thing is,
funding constraints.
When you look at some game cinematics, or even if you look at a movie cinematic, when you come and look at the final game or look at the movie, you get something different. What our cinematic does, you will get to do in game. There won't be a surprise. You'll see this big glossy cinematic, and when you get in game, you won't be surprised when you're flying jetpacks, when you see rift battles, when you see things coming out, when you're mining in caves with lasers, when you have these quantum monsters coming at you. Everything in this trailer. There's even a special guest star that not everybody will get, but all the OGs, and by OGs I mean everybody that's been in this project for, say, 2 years previous. Everybody that knows. Well, there'll be a special nod in there, holding a some corn up. So I mean, it's it's got a little bit of the flashback in there. I cannot say how good this trailer is. What it does do though is it raises the bars for trailers in the future, and we look back at others trailers and we go, oh my god, they look so outdated.
It does, but here's the deal: we're already talking with marketing teams. So David, Scruffy, Matt, we're getting together to chat about a production house to scale this out. And so we're going to duplicate the skills, we're going to get the process down, and we're going to start telling our lore story. There's so much that we can do with this. It enables marketing in a whole new ballpark that was just not available to us before, and it's still using our assets. And so we're kicking off a new direction with cinematography and cinematics in the game that will pull people in with an emotional response. I don't know about you. You don't get as emotional as easy as I do. You're a little more level, but for me, that grabbed me. I was like,
it was amazing. And you know what? I remember a few years ago. I'm not going to name any names, but we were at CNFTCon, and I was talking to. I'll just say I was talking to somebody, and he said to me, we're going to fake this until we make it.
Oh, it was a competitor. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Everything with AI that you see looks like we're not faking it because we're making it. We are making this. AI is just adding this knife. You've got to.
We've already built the assets.
AI is augmenting. None of what this AI is saying. Okay, all AI is fake, but what it's representing is absolutely real. And there is no one that is going to look at that trailer, play our game, and think, actually, you were mis-selling me, because the trailer is so good. The lore is spot on. The music is music that you've seen us put to. Well, the style of music that we often use, the cinematic, the epic, the marching bands in there. It introduces some of the terror, some of the earth. You see the calamity. I mean,
it's more encompassing.
And everyone's going to see this trailer within.
We'll play you out with the leak, so stay tuned. And thank you all for watching this episode of Cafe Rise. We'll see you in the next one.
Welcome. You're here early, that's good. Means there's something special about you. We got a whole lot going wrong around here. You better train up. We got terrors knocking on our infrastructure, and some mighty strange occurrences going on. I'm afraid our world is at risk. Without people like you, Cornucopias might fall into darkness. Better get smart, get trained, and be ready. The storm is coming. I can feel it. I'd like to say we've been through worse, but this time I'm not so sure. Good luck out there. You're going to need every bit you can get.
Children of the multiverse, you have crossed the veil through the gate to stand with us in Cornucopias. You have my appreciation. I am but a messenger, a guide sent to show you the path that must be walked. But know this, the rifts are only the beginning. What you have seen is but a shadow of what is yet to come. The path ahead is dark, and the cost will be great. For the dangers you face are not born of this world alone, but from beyond it. Some of you will fight the tide, Others will build and restore. Some will weave knowledge, while others will sustain through trade and creation. Strength, will, and unity. These are the bonds that will endure when all else is broken. Rise now, stand against the tide, for infinity does not end, it begins. Infinity is rising.